And as I noted at the top of the program, the U.S. SEC has subpoenaed Tesla related to market-moving tweet by CEO Elon Musk. And here to talk Tesla and some other ongoing issues with automakers is the car coach, Lauren Fix, who is also the president of the Car Utility and Truck of the Year Award. Lauren, welcome back. We're so glad to see you again. What do you make of this SEC filing? They're coming down pretty hard so far. Doesn't surprise me as a regulator, but what are your thoughts?
Well, actually, since we spoke earlier in the day, there's been an additional lawsuit put in place and an additional whistleblower in the last half an hour. Somebody claiming that there's all kinds of drug deals going on and theft and all kinds of exciting things. Of course, with a whistleblower, you never know, and the SEC is always looking for that, especially when they're already being viewed at so closely. So the SEC, in most cases, what happens these days is they're not looking for someone to admit guilt. There's going to be a penalty involved if they actually find him to be guilty, and they're going to take the money. When in reality, there's a bigger issue besides the lawsuits. All the financial investors who lost a lot of money, they're all suing as well. So there's a couple, probably close to a dozen lawsuits right now in place. And on top of that, they got the Department of Justice here in the United States looking at him for possibly buying back stock in an illegal way. So there's a lot of things still in the mix when you go out and make a statement that you've got financials secured and you don't, and then you falsely inflate the market, and then it's dropped back down, and it closed almost a percentage down today. I think that's going to lead to some issues.
And just to put a little, I mean, you gave a perfect answer, Lauren, but I want to put a fine point on it for some of our viewers who may not have followed it. I mean, Elon Musk, the CEO of Tesla, had said not long ago, maybe a month or so ago, that the shorts, that is the short traders who were sort of betting on the demise of Tesla, better watch out. And people sort of assumed that that meant that the company's going to do well over the long term. But then when he made this tweet about saying, as you say, he's got the money secured to go private, that's when the stock took a real...
At $4.20 a share.
Yeah, crazy
It's not going to make it there, yeah.
Yeah,
it's crazy. The problem is I have friends that do this for a living, and he's been intimidating some of them to pull down their Twitter accounts, cancel their relationship with Seeking Alpha, which is a financial website, and other things, and sending things like shorts to people, which is cute. I'm glad he's got a great sense of humor, but you're dealing with people's money, and that means you're also dealing with attorneys. So we'll see how this unfolds. I have a feeling he'll get a slap on the wrist from the SEC here in the United States, but the Department of Justice, they're going to need more than a slap on the wrist. He could find himself in trouble, including the fact that all of the board members have gotten their own lawyers. That's a big sign something ugly is going down.
Yeah, and I guarantee you a lot of other publicly traded companies, their general counsels are speaking with the C-suite executives saying, don't do things. And social media accounts, just like putting out, you know, your 10K, anything else. One other issue that I wanted to get to, Lauren, is, you know, we've talked about emissions-related matters many times on the program. We always appreciate your expertise. But there's new news out of the EU, specifically that the Swiss have now stopped allowing diesel engines that concealed the emissions levels, those cars, to be registered. You can't have them registered. That could be a huge deal for individuals, much less what's going on in the country, right?
Right, that's a huge impact on consumers, telling them that the vehicle that you currently own can't be re-registered. You know, just like here in the United States, not everyone can go out and buy a new car every 3 years. And some people, actually on average, the average vehicles on the road today are about 14 years old, because not everyone can go and buy a new vehicle. And the same thing is true in Switzerland. And so if the Swiss are saying you cannot register your vehicle, this is a huge problem for consumers. If they can't drive their vehicles, they can't afford to buy new vehicles. There sounds like some lawsuits are going to happen. This is the same type of strategy that California was trying to do, and it came back as very negative and lots of lawsuits, and they backed off on that. They were trying not to let anyone purchase gasoline-powered vehicles after a certain date or bring vehicles in from other states. And this is going to be a huge problem for Switzerland as well.
Lauren, we've just got a few seconds, and maybe I'm going to broach something I shouldn't, but as president of the Car Utility and Truck of the Year Award, what are you driving lately, and do you like it?
I just drove the brand new Chevy Silverado. We drove it up in Jackson, Wyoming. I think they've done a great job improving it over the previous models, but when you compare it to the Ram truck and the F-150, sorry to say, it looks like the F-150 is still the leader in the market, although General Motors has done a great job with the performance handling, and they have the best in-bed storage. And we've also recently driven the new Honda Pilot, which I found to be a great improvement. And next week we'll be driving the Hyundai Santa Fe.
Thank you so much. Lauren Fix, the car coach.